Cross Chapter 16, Shadows Beyond Heaven. Panel 1, Wide shot, the battlefield lies in ruin. Ash covers mountains, rivers boil with residual flame. Ye Tian stands alone, his sword planted in the ground, shoulders heaving with exhaustion. Narrator, somber. He had stood against heaven. He had defied the will of the cosmos. But the price was only beginning to show. Panel 2, close-up of his hand trembling, veins blackened where the fire and lightning fused. His blood drips onto the scorched soil, hissing into steam. System log. Status report. Core stability, 41% critical. Lifespan remaining, 23 years. Soul integrity, fractured 12%. New condition, heaven-marked target of celestial enforcers. Panel 3, Ye Tian lifts his head. In the distance, disciples and elders who once mocked him now stare in horrified awe. None dare approach. Enemy disciple, whispering. He split the heavens. He is no longer one of us. He is something else. Panel 4, cut to the far horizon. Ancient sects and empires stir. In hidden palaces, eyes of golden elders open. In shadowed realms, dark figures smile coldly. Narrator. Word spread faster than the storm itself. Across the 9 provinces, across forbidden domains, even across the veiled void realms, the name Ye Tian was carried, not as a man but as a calamity. Panel 5, a cloaked figure, face obscured, watching Ye Tian through a crystal orb. The figure's voice is low and venomous. Cloaked figure. He has taken the path no mortal should. Mark him well. The heavens will not move alone. We will join the hunt. Panel 6, back to Ye Tian. He wipes the blood from his mouth, planting his sword back in its sheath. His body trembles, but his eyes burn with unbroken will. Ye Tian, inner voice. So the heavens have marked me. Then let the heavens come. Let the world come. I will cut them all down the same. Panel 7, suddenly a rumble in the void. The sky above tears again, not lightning this time, but darkness. From it, shadowy chains descend, each glowing with runes of punishment. System log. New threat detected. Celestial enforcement chains descend. Purpose, suppression and extraction of heaven-marked soul. Danger level, catastrophic. Panel 8, double spread. Chains as thick as mountains descend from the sky, wrapping toward Ye Tian. Each one crackles with divine authority, seeking to bind him. Narrator, rising tension. Defy the heavens, and the heavens will send their enforcers. Not thunder, not flame, but chains. Panel 9, Ye Tian grips his sword once more, his body staggering but his spirit unbroken. His flames roar to life again, weaker but fierce. Ye Tian growling. Chains, I broke mine long ago. Panel 10, cliffhanger splash. The scene freezes. Ye Tian, drenched in blood and fire, standing against descending celestial chains that could bind gods themselves. His eyes glare upward, unyielding. System log, flickering. Quest triggered. Title quest, Chainbreaker. Objective, survive celestial enforcement. Reward. Failure, soul erasure. Narrator, final echoing. And so, from the ashes of immortal defiance, a new chapter began. The rise of the Chainbreaker. Cross Chapter 17, Nascent Soul, Dreamborn Soul. Panel 1, wide shot, Ye Tian kneeling on the scorched battlefield, flames licking the ruins around him. His body trembles violently, his golden core unstable, barely holding together. Narrator, deep resonant. The path of immortal defiance had nearly shattered him. Every cell, every meridian screamed in agony. Yet within that torment, a seed of awakening stirred. System log. Core alert. Golden core, overload detected. Vitality critical, 18%. Mental state, extreme fatigue. New potential, nascent soul formation possible. Panel 2, close-up of Ye Tian's eyes. Inside the depths, faint golden sparks dance like stars, swirling in a pattern resembling a miniature universe. Ye Tian, inner voice strained. So this is the boundary, the edge of life and death, the edge of true power. Panel 3. The ground around him cracks further, molten rivers running through the cracks. His aura flickers between crimson, gold, and shadows, unstable yet radiant. Narrator. Every wound, every scar, every flame he had endured, every lightning strike survived, was now converging into a singular force. The nascent soul did not come as a gift, it demanded sacrifice. Panel 4, he closes his eyes. Memories flash rapidly. His childhood hunger, battles with peers, the abyss, the tribulation, the blood path, heaven's judgment, all flashing like a spiral of light and shadow. System log. Experience integration. All previous trials synthesized. Potential unlocked. Dreamborn Soul. Core overload imminent. 95%. Warning. Consciousness may fragment. Panel 5. The air around him begins to vibrate violently. Trees, rocks, and mountains tremble. His breaths come in gasps of fire and blood. Ye Tian, gritting teeth. I will rise stronger than I ever was. Panel 6, wide splash. Golden aura erupts from his body like a miniature sun. His golden core begins to fracture outward, visible through his chest as an orb of molten energy rotating rapidly, fusing his blood, flame, and soul energy into one radiant sphere. Narrator. And then it happened. The golden core, once a symbol of mortal cultivation, was reborn into the nascent soul, a beacon of life, power, and will. Within it, the Dreamborn Soul awakened. System log. Nascent Soul achieved. Form complete. Dreamborn Soul, awakening. Sword Dao resonance, 82%. System bonus, all attributes plus 25%. Special trait, soul comprehension, able to sense enemies' true intent. Panel 7, close-up of Ye Tian's face, sweat and blood mixing with radiant golden light from the core. His pupils are vertical slits, glowing like twin suns. Ye Tian, inner voice, calm but roaring with power. I am no longer bound by the old path. My soul, my dreams, they shape my destiny now. Panel 8. The Dreamborn Soul manifests. Ethereal wings of golden energy stretch behind him, flickering between reality and dream like a mirage. They hum with cosmic resonance. Narrator. Not merely a power, not merely a weapon, not merely a shield, but a consciousness of dreams and possibilities. The Dreamborn Soul could traverse the void, pierce illusions, and manipulate destiny's threads, limited only by his will. Panel 9. System log flashes rapidly in the air around him, flickering like a hologram. Dreamborn Soul activated. Combat enhancement. Reality perception plus 50%. Defense enhancement. Soul barrier active. Sword Dao amplified. Dreamblade manifestation unlocked. Limit break progress, 15%. Panel 10, action panel. Suddenly, the celestial chains from Chapter 16 descend again, attempting to bind him. But his Dreamborn Soul ignites, forming a golden aura that shatters the chains before they touch him. Narrator. The chains that once threatened gods now shattered like paper before his will. The Dreamborn Soul was not a gift, it was freedom incarnate. Panel 11. Ye Tian takes a deep breath. Each inhale draws in the ambient energies of the world. Fire, blood, lightning, shadow, and starlight, feeding the newly awakened nascent soul. Ye Tian. This world, this cosmos, will kneel before the path I carve. Panel 12. Climactic splash. Ye Tian jumps into the air, wings of Dreamborn Soul spreading, sword glowing with golden, dreamlike energy. The ground explodes below him as a shockwave radiates outward for miles. System log. Power surge detected. Strength, 95% of nascent soul limit. Speed, sublight movement possible. Sword intent, 98% resonance. Reality perception, active. Title earned, Dreamborn Sovereign. Panel 13, wide view, the entire battlefield is reshaped. Mountains leveled, rivers boiling, and the sky itself trembling as the first true power of a dreamborn soul radiates out. Narrator. And so, from the ashes of immortal defiance, from the trials of fire, blood, and heaven's wrath, Ye Tian ascended into a new realm, the Nascent Soul. Within him, the Dreamborn Soul flared into life, a storm of dreams, soul, and destiny. Nothing would ever be the same. Panel 14, Final Close-Up. Ye Tian's eyes, twin suns blazing with cosmic light, gaze into the distance where hidden enemies stir, sects plot, and celestial enforcers prepare to descend. Narrator echoing. Epic tone. This was no longer merely survival. This was transcendence. This was the beginning of the Dreamborn era. And Ye Tian was its harbinger. White heavy checkmark chapter 17 end. Ye Tian achieves nascent soul breakthrough, Dreamborn Soul awakens, power surges, and the world is reshaped. Sets up new enemies, celestial forces, and ultimate challenges. Cross chapter 18, Celestial Convergence. Panel 1, the battlefield lies in ruins. Mountains shattered, rivers of molten stone flowing, clouds boiling with crimson and gold. Ye Tian stands at the center, wings of the Dreamborn Soul extended, body glowing with nascent energy. Narrator, resonant tense. From the ashes of immortal defiance, from the fire of nascent soul awakening, a new storm now rose. But power attracts attention, and the world, the heavens, had noticed. System log. Alert. Dreamborn Soul, active. Nascent Soul, stabilized. Celestial awareness triggered. Nearby enforcers detected. Hidden threats, multiple targets converging. Panel 2, cut to the horizon. Shadowy fleets of cultivators, cloaked figures, and divine beasts emerging from hidden sects, ancient ruins, and veiled dimensions. Each exudes an aura of death and authority. Narrator. Every corner of the 9 provinces, every forgotten void realm, every sect hidden in shadow sensed the rise of a new sovereign. And they converged, like moths to flame, like wolves to a lamb. Enemy elder, whispering to subordinates. The boy who defied heaven, he has reached the nascent soul. Prepare the convergence. Seal his dreamborn soul before it erupts uncontrollably. Panel 3, back to Ye Tian. He senses the approaching convergence, the spiritual fluctuations vibrating through the air. His dreamborn soul hums, wings flickering as if alive. Ye Tian, inner voice, calm, calculating. They come, but their power, their intent, their hatred, it all feeds me. Let them come. I will see who dares challenge destiny itself. System log. Enemy detection. Celestial enforcers, 3. Hidden sect masters, 5. Shadow realm entities, 2. Danger level, extreme. Suggested action, engage/evade/observe. Panel 4, wide action. The first wave descends, a trio of celestial enforcers, armored in golden light, chains glowing with divine authority, each movement cracking the air. The ground trembles with each step. Narrator. The celestial enforcers had arrived, the first wave of heaven's judgment. Their chains could bind even gods, their power could crush mountains. And yet, Ye Tian did not flinch. Ye Tian, gripping sword, wings spreading further. You carry heaven's will, but I carry my own. Let's see whose law is stronger. System log. Combat mode activated. Sword intent, 100%. Dreamborn soul fusion, 80%. Speed, sublight movement enabled. Special trait, reality perception active. Panel 5, close up, first enforcer swings chains. Each link glows with crushing authority. They descend toward Ye Tian like a storm of mountains. Narrator. The chains fell, heavy as destiny itself. Crushing, binding, unavoidable. Each link a sentence, each swing a decree. Panel 6, Ye Tian reacts. With a thought, the dreamborn soul flares. Wings expand fully, energy erupting outward in a golden shockwave that shatters the first links before they can touch him. System log. Defense triggered. Soul barrier, maximum efficiency. Reality perception, enabled. Chain resistance, 95%. Countermeasure, Dreamborn overload ready. Panel 7, dynamic battle spread. The first clash begins. Chains clash against golden aura. Sparks of energy explode, shaking the heavens. Each swing Ye Tian counters, each movement calculated, his Dreamborn soul guiding reflexes beyond human limits. Narrator. Every attack he faced, every strike of chains or claws or sorcery was a lesson. Each block a calculation, each movement a statement, I am no longer mortal. I am beyond you. Enemy Enforcer 1, struggling, shocked. Impossible. How can one mortal wield such energy? Resist chains forged by heaven itself. Panel 8, second wave arrives, hidden sect masters. Their aura suppresses the air, slicing reality into narrow planes. Their eyes glint with malice and centuries of ambition. Narrator. They were the world's hidden predators, masters who had walked for centuries, unseen, waiting for a challenge. And now, the Dreamborn Soul's light had drawn them out. Ye Tian, smirking inner monologue. Centuries of ambition, and yet, you are nothing against will, against intent, against the path I carve myself. System log. Combat update. Enemies engaged, 8. Power gap, plus 15% in favor of Dreamborn Soul. Sword Dao resonance, 92%. Reality perception, target's weakness identified. Panel 9, epic multi-action spread. Ye Tian moves like a whirlwind. Each swing of the sword shreds illusions, cuts shadows, and disrupts the spiritual fields of sect masters. His aura bends reality, turning the battlefield into a storm of gold, crimson, and lightning. Narrator. One by one they fall, not all to death, some to despair. The Dreamborn Soul does not merely strike flesh, it strikes the will, the mind, the soul. Every being who dares oppose him feels the weight of inevitability. System log. Kill/disable report. Enemies neutralized, 5. Status, Dreamborn Soul fully stabilized. System upgrade, Dreamblade manifestation level 2. Next potential, Soul Transcendence trigger. Panel 10, suddenly the sky shatters. From the void, a massive shadow emerges, a figure clad in dark energy, wings spanning the heavens, eyes glowing red. The ultimate hidden threat, the shadow sovereign of the void realm. Narrator dark ominous. And as the dust settled, the final predator arrived. A being from beyond mortal comprehension. The shadow sovereign, he had come to test the Dreamborn Soul, to challenge destiny itself. Ye Tian, clenching fist, eyes narrowing. So this is the next test. Very well, I will carve my will into the void. System log. Elite threat detected. Enemy, shadow sovereign. Realm, void. Power estimate, near Nascent Soul sovereign. Suggested action, extreme caution. Panel 11, final splash. Ye Tian soars into the air, wings of Dreamborn Soul blazing, sword ignited with golden and crimson energy. The shadow sovereign descends, dark wings unfurling like a void eclipse. Lightning, fire, shadow, and blood collide as the next war begins. Narrator, epic rising tone. The world trembled, heaven trembled, even the void itself recoiled, and in that moment Ye Tian's Dreamborn Soul roared. Not just as a survivor, not just as a defier, but as a sovereign who would carve destiny with his own hands. White heavy checkmark, chapter 18 end. Celestial convergence. Ye Tian faces celestial enforcers and hidden sect masters. Fully demonstrates Dreamborn Soul powers. Introduces ultimate threat, shadow sovereign. Sets up next chapter as full-scale clash of ultimate powers.